laughing at me, finding funny my tragedy.
Going on now to F for festivals and literary festivals, to be precise. They are indeed frolics and fun and festivals are the great phenomena of our times, the mass cultural gatherings of like-minded people. What started in Hay 30 years ago has now spread to over 200 different venues. And they are very much spring and autumn phenomena. So any advice we have to festival organisers is for a better choice of authors, spread them out a bit. For the publisher, the great advantage is having direct contact with our readers, rather than having to go through the multi-layered book trade, which we'll come on to later. To start with, publishers could sell books directly and so more profitably, but now books are bought and sold through concessions like the local bookshop, so we are back to the traditional heavy book trade discounting. But still, it's a great way to engage with readers and sell books, as I hope I'm going to find out later. G stands for gremlins. The groans, the growls, grunts, grouches, glitches, and goblins. In other words, what could possibly go wrong? Or more likely, what could possibly go right? As we've seen, technology creates its own problems, especially when different software refuses to talk to each other. So, for example, converting files from a PDF into InDesign and back again. And for reasons of collective sanity, we have banned Microsoft Word's track changes. Humans cause just as many project management problems as when a freelance is late and everyone in the team is interdependent. Colour printing is a strange one. There might famously be 700 shades of black, but there is still art in the science, even after proofing a new run will have variations. And so the big no-no is to miss the publication date, as algorithms will cancel pre-sales and generally cause ongoing chaos. H stands for handshakes, not the rolled-up trouser brigade, but the different ways we agree to agree with each other. Apart from handshakes, heads of agreement, memos of understanding, and even, if we must, contracts. Generally speaking, publishing is less contract-prone than pretty much any other business. Handshakes still hold sway to a large extent. Certainly they do so with regular suppliers. With editors of all kinds and designers, contracts are not needed, especially as nowadays usually backed up by an email trail. With authors, contracts are needed, largely for their comfort on money and our comfort on timing. So contracts are a necessary evil. Lawyers are paid by the hour, so left to their own devices will rabbit on profitably for pages. But as a rule, the fewer words, the fewer problems further down the tracks. And a good rule is, if it needs a lawyer to understand it, it needs redrafting. This is the standard unicorn author's contract, and I've seen these go on for pages. The Society of Authors, in every way an excellent organisation, has a whole department geared up to turning out pages of waffle. I always say to them, fine, but you pay for my lawyer, and that shuts them up. This is all you really need, the 5 bullets. The number of words on the subject, the fee and the terms, the timing, the editing, and the copyright. And each one of those could easily have 10 pages left in the hands of a lawyer, but that's really, succinctly, all you need. I is for independence, the independent, non-conglomerate publishing sector. Independent publishers and independent bookshops. Independence of the soul of publishing. The big 6 multinationals own about 3/4 of the market, and their overheads and scale mean they won't look at anything with low margins or low print runs, which means a nice big vacuum for us independents. The IPG has about 600 members, ranging from myriad one-person companies to £10 million ones. It's an easy market to enter, so new publishers are often lifestyle companies or driven by niche, interest or geography. J is for junkets. Sometimes life seems to be one big junket. There are always jollies, jubilees and jamborees. And it's true, the book trade does like a good junket. Book launches. Every book seems to need a launch. They're really authors' private parties. Literary lunches are excellent liquid fun, and I can particularly recommend the oldies one at Simpson's in the Strand. Literary festivals are definitely party-prone after hours. Conferences. There seem to be endless conferences. The more exotic the location, the more media types turn up on what most people would think of as a tax-deductible holiday. And like all media, there are awards for just about every aspect of publishing, and they're always good knees up. As we have seen, the gathering of the great and the good, always on a lookout for a good spot of corporate entertaining. Yes, I can safely say that life sometimes feels like one great big junket. K has to be for Kindle, the once great threat, but not really how things have turned out. Kaboom to kaput may be a bit unfair. It has found its niche, even if it hasn't taken over the world, as it was touted to do. There's no doubting the practicalities of e-books for reference and all non-illustrated books. But it's not the wipeout threat we all feared. The colour is still nowhere, as are the layout options. And an e-book token or voucher code for a book will never be as good a gift as a proper book. Kindle Direct Publishing means that everyone who wants to be a publisher can be one, and with good marketing options too. The knock-on effect, I would say, has been to smarten all physical book publishers up to make sure our books are as presentable as possible. Next we come on to L. For lunch, oh glorious estate. Lunches should be long, liquid and libelous, and occasionally literary, the bedrock of publishing. Like all resistance to contracts, publishing is the last resistance to fast food lunches, or perish the thought no food lunches. It quite often feels like we're on a crusade to save the old London clubs, the Garrick, the Athenaeum, the Oriental, the Travellers, etc., as much as creating the new ones, many on the Groucho or Soho house models. They seem to spring up at a drop of a napkin. Well, what's the point? Well, clearly not just to eat and drink. You can start a rumour, spread some gossip, seal a deal, start a scandal. Yes, long live lunches. M stands for marketing, and we never use the word publishing without adding the words and marketing. There are two sides to marketing: the media, the mainstream and the marginal, and the publicity we can generate through it, and two, the logistics, making sure whoever wants to buy it can buy it. So book marketing is part art and part science and part luck, although I've observed you make your luck through first doing the art and science properly. The art part is the creative part, thinking up new ways to ensure people know about the book through all available media outlets. The science part is the logistics, not as easy as it sounds, making sure the book is easy to buy anywhere at any time. The joker in the pack is luck, the unexpected take-up we'll come to on the next letter. And the last part is the author as a marketing partner. It makes an enormous difference if the author is out there too on social media and personal appearances. Andrew Roberts had to make 200 personal appearances promoting his new Churchill book, not only exhausting in itself, but 9 months out of his life not researching or writing his next.